What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live stream, a Monday edition. I hope everybody's Monday went well. I'm hoping most of you guys is getting over with, but we got people from all around the world, so it might be Tuesday by now. I don't even know how that works. But man, I've been seeing in the comments already that it looking like winter is about to bite all of us right in the butt if it hasn't already. Sure enough, this is going to be the first time this Friday. I finally am going to get back out there and do a little bit of searching. So I'm meeting up with Adam down South Georgia, and we're going to do some searching. Fiona. Candice has said she is feeling good enough to where she can move around and take care of herself. She's the one making the decision on this, so cool. So hopefully she's right. I am kind of nervous about leaving her by herself, but it is the weekend and it is holiday. I think we're going to be good. We're going to make sure she's okay. But either way, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Jeremy, and I am exploring with the Nug. And here on these live streams, we like to talk about missing people cases, spreading some awareness, and just hanging out and getting the word out about some of these cold cases that may have been forgotten about. And this is going to be a super awesome live stream because this live stream is being brought to you by the wonderful people at BattleBox. And if you guys don't know who BattleBox is, I'd be surprised. They are a pretty big company that sells all kinds of cool survival gear. And man, if they didn't reach out to me and I jumped on that opportunity because I don't know, that'd be a cool business to be backed by. But check this out. Check out what I made.
Breaking news for survival gear fans, BattleBox is launching a massive knife sale from November 22nd to December 6th. Get ready to equip yourself with BattleBox's finest at prices you won't see again this year. From survival to everyday carry, these are the deals you've been waiting for. Why choose BattleBox? Because their gear is not just sharp, it's battle proven, designed by adventurers for adventurers. Getting in on this deal couldn't be any more simple. Just click the link in the description. Don't miss the cuts. Sharpen your collection with BattleBox before the deal slashes away on December 6th.
Have you bought one yet? Don't let this sharp deal pass you by.
I know. Bring it on. That was all me. They didn't send me any script to read. I came up with all of that. And I know I look like did you see the hair sticking out on one side? Yeah, you know what can you say? I liked it. You know what? It's corny and it's original, and I'm not lying, dude. They sent me the entire knife collection from that they're having their big sale on through the all this week. And I'm not lying, dude. I've played with lots of knives. These things are top quality. So I highly recommend going to follow that link in the description down below. Check them out. If you're in the market for a knife or you want to get a knife for somebody, BattleBox is going to be your company. I highly recommend them because I have played with their knives, so I have first-hand knowledge. So what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be talking about a bunch of cases, and one of them is pretty crazy because Hannah Kobayashi. I don't know if you guys remember this, but she was the lady. I talked about her live stream or two ago, where she left Hawaii and she lands in LA and she was supposed to fly all the way home to New York, right? Well, something happened and she disappeared, and they have her on tape and they have all kinds of proof that she is alive, or she was alive at one point, and she was wandering around in LA, right? Well, we have an update to that story, and it is grim news, and it's very spooky. So we're going to dive into that. I also want to talk about the missing person case of Candice Coffas, and she is a special needs individual who vanished, and there was a huge search, but they could not find her. Also have an update on the kayaker who faked his death and wasted everybody's time searching for him, thinking it was a missing kayaker. But he planned his own fake death, and now there is proof that he lives, and everything actually is coming to light that this guy is just kind of a bad dude, just up and dipped out on his family. And there is a viewer requested story that they wanted me to share with you, and it is a incredibly old, we're talking old, 1900s missing person case. His name is Fred Page. We're going to talk about him. And then we're also going to be diving into the comments, see what you guys, see what's going on in your lives, question, comments, concerns. Just drop your comment or your question in the chat and I'll do my best to answer it. I usually have a Q&A going, but for the life of me, I haven't been motivated to do it again. I think it's a good idea, but still. So first thing I want to do is dive into this missing kayaker. Not the missing kayaker. We're going to talk about that. We're talking about Hannah Kobayashi, her an update to her story, and let me start off by showing you this video I found.
Police say that Hannah Kobayashi's father, Ryan, was found dead early this morning in a parking lot near the airport. He had traveled to LA to help search for his missing daughter. The 30-year-old woman was on her way from Hawaii to New York City earlier this month when she failed to board her connecting flight. Initially, friends received some strange text messages, and Hannah was spotted on LA Metro surveillance video. But her trail has gone cold for the last 2 weeks. The coroner's office has not released her father's cause of death. A group aligned with her family says that Ryan may have taken his own life.
Now, that is incredibly sad. A tragic turn of events that couldn't even been any worse. And the first thing that pops in my mind I wonder if it's the same thing that popped in your guys' mind, but let's jump back into that story a little bit. So the LA Police Department, the Los Angeles Police Department, they've confirmed the father of Hannah Kobayashi, a 30-year-old, Hannah Kobayashi, who is a 30-year-old woman missing since November 11th, was found dead early Sunday morning. Now, Ryan Kobayashi, who had been in LA searching for his daughter, was discovered around 4 a.m., near the West Century Boulevard, close to the LAX. The family later shared that Ryan tragically died by suicide. And I don't know if you guys are with me when I immediately don't believe that, but I could be wrong. But in a statement released through a nonprofit aiding in the search, they expressed their devastation, saying, after tirelessly searching for Hannah for 13 days, Ryan tragically took his own life. This loss has compounded our suffering immeasurably. Now, right off the bat, I want to say there's no way this guy committed suicide. Why would he search for 13 days and then off himself? I could be totally wrong. Maybe the stress just got to him. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So let's just stick with that. And but a recap on who Hannah Kobayashi is. Like I said, she's a 30-year-old. And it says from Hawaii, but I don't know if she was native to Hawaii or if she was there on vacation. But either way, she vanished earlier this month, and she was last seen November 8th during a layover at LA International Airport. Now, Hannah was traveling to visit her aunt in upstate New York, but she never boarded her connecting flight to New York City. She is described as a passionate traveler and artist. Hannah was seen after her flight at a bookstore and later at a Nike event in LA. However, her family began receiving troubling messages from her phone, claiming her identity and funds had been stolen and expressing fear for her safety. Now, the last known location or sighting was from surveillance footage near a downtown metro station where she appeared to be in poor condition and was not alone. Now, family says in the latest developments, they say that Hannah's disappearance has raised numerous questions, and the tragedy of Ryan Kobayashi's death has compounded their pain. Speaking to the media just last week, Ryan shared his determination to find her. I'm just trying to make up for lost time. My focus is on bringing her back. Those were his words. Suspicious activity around Hannah's phone and movements has heightened concerns. Now, on November 11th, she told her mother she hadn't made it to New York. She also sent messages to a friend saying, deep hackers wiped my identity, stole my funds, and have had me on a mind F since Friday. So that right off the bat, that had the family concerned. They didn't quite understand what she was going on about, right? My poor microphone's all weirded out. So the family's plea, the Kobayashi family, they're pleading with the public to stay focused on finding Hannah, saying Hannah is still actively missing and believed to be in imminent danger. The LAPD Missing Persons Unit continues to investigate, and the family urges anyone with information to come forward. As this tragedy unfolds, the Kobayashi family faces unimaginable grief but remains steadfast in their mission to bring Hannah home. What do you guys think about that? That is a wild twist to this, right? Because there were stories coming out that Hannah was trafficked. She was kidnapped, taken against her will, and trafficked. That still might very well have happened to her, unfortunately. But then all of a sudden, Dad shows up in LA and starts handing out flyers. He starts making a scene. You know, he wants answers. He's looking for his daughter, right? Like any father would do. And then 13 days later, he suddenly decides to kill himself. Was the grief just too much? Was the searching just getting to him? Did he find out something that triggered him to end his own life? Or is this not what it seems? Did he find something, perhaps, and end up getting killed for it? You know, I don't know. There was another story. Now, it's what do you call it? It's up and down what happened. There's one news story says suicide. Another news story says heart attack. You know, no news stories are saying possible foul play. But that's not my thought process. I go straight to the movies on this one, you know. But it definitely sounds off. I mean, but we're going to find out, hopefully. I mean, you know, LA's got a big police department. Hopefully they're doing their job. I don't know. But I don't know. And the bottom line here, Hannah is still missing. Like, they still have no clue where she's at. But now it's Hannah's missing and Dad killed himself. That's a lot to take in for this poor family, right? So prayers for their family. I really do hope that you know, they get some answers, because that's a lot, isn't it? We jump over here in the comments really quick. And I mean, everybody in the comments are simply saying it seems very strange. Something is definitely off. Not looking out for loved ones seems strange, Simon says. That's crazy. He jumped from the 7th story parking garage. He was in town 13 days, pushed. Hoaxing the World said that. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, because I know you'd love to dive into these cases with me. Was he pushed? And then what's this stuff about a heart attack? Because if you have a heart attack, you don't usually fall off the 7th story parking garage, right? Suicide, obviously. I mean, he possibly could have jumped. That just doesn't make sense to me. I'm hoping that actually isn't what happened, because suicides usually just get pushed under the rug. Oh, it's so sad, you know, boo-hoo, funeral, and then it's moved on. Case closed when the police think it's a suicide. Hopefully, they're going to do a thorough investigation, because I would hate for them to just be like, suicide, case closed, and then all of a sudden, well, where's Hannah? Who's Hannah? You know, maybe, I don't know, it seems weird. So, yeah, everybody says it seems strange. Sounds like someone has her phone. Was she in a cult? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. Like, nobody's saying anything like that. Yeah, why the GoFundMe setup? I don't know who you're talking about. I don't have a GoFundMe setup. We need Oprah to explain. Alrighty. Why would he go all the way to try to find her and then commit suicide? That's my thought. 13 days. That's really early to give up hope and end your life. You know, nah. I would never stop searching, honestly. Now, I understand if he found out, like, my daughter is dead, and the pain was too much to bear, and his emotions took over, and he ended his life. I can see that. But not knowing, you always want to assume your daughter is still alive. 13 days of searching, and he's just like, I can't take it no more. I call shenanigans. We'll see what happens on that one, though. So, where's my mouse? I got like so much going on here. Oh, there you are. Okay. So this other story I have here is about Candice Coffas. And now she's been missing for a little bit, but I did find a news story clip I wanted to share with you guys and see what you guys thought about that. Let me go over here, doing a million things at once. Check this out.
More than 100 volunteers and emergency service workers all coming together to continue the search for 34-year-old Candice Coffas.
Search teams are currently searching for 4'9" Candice Coffas, who has been missing since Friday, July 15th. State police say she was last seen wearing glasses, a purple shirt, orange pants, and a flower design along with purple and blue sneakers.
So Candice, this case, and crazy enough, like, this is how this happens so much. Like, I've never heard of this case. Candice came across it and she's like, you should definitely read into this. There's a lot. This was a big search. And so I dove into it and I was like, holy crap, like, this was pretty big. And the incredible outpouring in love and concern for Candice was very impressive. And while the search for Candice continues, what stands out most is how deeply her story has touched not only her family, but people far and wide. Comments from friends and strangers alike just show how many people are thinking of her. One person, Monica wrote, my heart aches for all of them, oh my gosh, my heart aches for all and the not knowing. Another shared, despite never meeting Candice, she holds a special place in their heart because their own, I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. There is a squirrel on the second story of this thing. And he is driving me nuts, but I don't. That's very weird to me. But either way, so here, okay, here's another thing. I'm trying to get my bearings back here. So Candice does hold a special place in their heart because her own son also has Prader-Willis syndrome. Now, Candice has Prader-Willis syndrome, right? Christina said, Candice, I do not know you, but I think about you all the time. I pray so hard that you'll be found. Now, some of these comments I'm reading here are from a Facebook page that is dedicated just to her, and it gets a lot of attention, like all the time, right? So the bottom line is they searched like far and wide for Candice, and like it was another one of those things where you just I don't know how to say this. Like, hundreds of people searched. They scoured the area. It's another one of those cases where just like up and vanishes, right? And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, recent discussions on her case note that she was last seen near Connew Lake, possibly near railroad tracks, or State Game Lands 213 early on the 16th. And but despite extensive searches, including drones, ATVs, mounted teams, specialized searchers from other counties, there have been no significant leads. And her family maintains hope, though, that I don't know why this case is getting to me. It's kind of weird. I think it's because like she was I don't know. It's if you read into her story, it just goes pretty far. But either way. I am having an issue right now, and I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm not gonna have a heart attack or something. That'd be crazy. I got panicky for a second. I think it was that damn noise. It's driving me batshit crazy. But what can you do? So either way, I kind of butchered that story. But Candice Coffas is still missing, and she does need your guys' help. So make sure you guys, if you want to go back in the video and watch that news story again, and maybe you guys can look up some information on her. Her name's Candice Coffas, Caffas. And I'll be sure to do some more research on that case and get you guys some more information on that one. But let's move on to another story because, well, that one was pretty tough to get through because squirrels, and then I think I had an adrenaline dump because that noise got to me. But let me jump in the comments here really quick. So I think everybody is still talking about Hannah. I don't know if she had ties, honestly, to somebody in LA. These are like the details that I bet like friends and family would know, and they're not releasing it to the public yet. But look around here really quick. The video sounded echoey. I might have had my computer too loud. Let me turn that down so when it plays, it won't echo. But all right, so let's dive into something that irritates us all, right? But we can kind of complain about it some more. So the kayaker who, hold on one second. Where's the dang button? I am losing control of this live stream. Holy smokes, I couldn't even find the button. Then I took a picture of myself. What is going on today? I am definitely not myself. I think I got the case of the Mondays. I think that's what it is. But man, let's jump into this fake kayaker story, because this will always get everybody fired up.
Investigators in Wisconsin revealed last hour the man who allegedly faked his own death and fled the country is alive and staying somewhere in Eastern Europe. The Green Lake Sheriff's Office said that officers are in contact now with Ryan Borgwart and even showed a video of him from this month. But they say the husband and father has not decided whether he's going to come home.
I definitely need a team. So the guy, this is like something straight out of a movie, right? Imagine this. A man vanishes during a kayaking trip. Authorities search for months using everything from cadaver dogs to sonar, only to discover that it was all a waste of time. He's alive and well halfway across the world, right? Would that piss you off just a little bit? It definitely would me, especially there was a nonprofit, Bruce's Legacy. They got involved searching for this guy. They're very good at what they do. But they had some equipment break during the search, so it cost him I think at least $10,000 to fix this stuff, all for nothing, all for searching for a body that wasn't even out there. This dude's alive, and it happened. It happened, and his name, Ryan Borgwart, something like that, a 44-year-old from Wisconsin. Back in August, he went missing on Green Lake, and obviously that's what everybody thought, but after a while, they couldn't find him. They assumed the worst. They assumed he drowned. His kayak, his life jacket, even his wallet were found near the shore, but no body. Now, the search was massive, like I said. Divers, drones, the volunteer group, they spent weeks combing the area. Time went on, and people just started, things weren't adding up. And then by October, investigators started uncovering clues that painted a very different picture. It turns out Ryan had been planning his disappearance for months. He transferred money to a foreign bank, took photos of his passport, and even stashed an e-bike near the lake. On the day he disappeared, he flipped his kayak, he ditched his phone, and he paddled to shore in a tiny inflatable boat. And from there, he hopped on his e-bike, rode about 70 miles to Madison, and started his journey out of the country. This is straight out of a movie. It's crazy. So where is he now? Ryan is in Eastern Europe, and authorities got in touch with him recently, and he sent a video to prove he is alive and safe. And he says he had personal reasons for faking his death and regrets the chaos it caused. But here's the kicker. He didn't expect anyone to look for him for more than 2 weeks. Well, Green Lake County spent 3 months searching for him, racking up tens of thousands of dollars in costs, and now they're considering legal action if he doesn't return. So, yeah, this is a wild story, no doubt, but it also leaves a lot to think about. What drives someone to take such drastic steps? And what about the family? What about the friends, volunteers who spent months worried sick searching for answers? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Drop a comment, leave it in the chat. Let me know what you think. This would piss me off more than anything if we was out there searching. Now don't get me wrong. Adam and myself have searched for a lot of people. Every so often, not a lot, we have come across cases. It wasn't like this, but where we searched all day, only to find out that the person we were searching for has been found and is alive and well. And they just did not update the story. So we had no clue. The news didn't say, update. They didn't say anything like that. So we had to deal with that. Pissed us off. But we dealt with it. We're like, okay, no big deal. At least he's okay. Right? We've come across one where we was searching for a gentleman. And he ended up he was already found. Passed away for a long time, and it never made the news. The missing person stuff was never updated. We found out because we posted the video, and I think somebody from the family was like, hey, I appreciate you searching, but he was found a long time ago. There's even the only proof we could find was one of those gravestone marker or grave site, findagrave.com or something like that. And that's how we found out about that gentleman. It hasn't happened a lot, But it is so irritating and demotivating to know, like, wait, man, we just wasted the whole day. Granted, we could have come across something else, other cars, other vehicles, sunken boats. I mean, anything really we could have come across. But it felt like it was just a huge waste of time, because, you know, obviously we're not going to find the person we were looking for because they're not dead, or they died a long time ago. Very irritating. This, on the other hand, is some guy who came up with this elaborate plan to fake his own death, to sneak off to another country. And what I didn't mention in this follow-up was the story about he was in communications with a lady from Uzbekistan. Not surprising at all. What drives men who are pieces of shit to do stupid stuff? Well, it's that lack of being able to control yourself around women, right? If you're, it's just a thing. Guys are dogs, you know. It's just how much of a dog are they? I'm sure you, if you're all women, you're watching. You got husbands, and they love you to death, and you can trust them with anything, you know. But then there's, on the flip side, there's women out there that have dated or been married to men who are dogs, who just can't control it. You ever get that dog that's not fixed and he just humps everything, and you can't stop him from humping everything because he's just a horny dog. Well, that's some of these guys, unfortunately. And it sounds like Mr. Fake His Own Death kayaker guy, he's kind of a dog, and a weak one at that too, because I don't know, he probably got gamed by some chick over in Europe. But, you know, stupid, right? Stupid dog, horny, bad dog. So either way, I'm pretty sure what he pulled off is illegal. And now that he's essentially caught, you know, he's not gonna get away. I mean, he's gonna have to come back to the country and face the music. You can't fake your own death. I'm sure that's a law, probably a felony. I'm not too sure, but either way, we got going on over here in the chat really quick, taking a peek. Wonder if the wife told him to stay there. I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, he's got like 3 kids too, or something like that, like 2 or 3 kids. That's messed up. You abandoned your marriage. That's one thing. That's not good. You know, that's a mean thing to do. But you got kids that depended on you. You know, I don't know the story. Maybe they was separated. I don't know. Maybe it was just a horrible situation. Maybe this was something coming for a long time, and he just decided to do something stupid. Maybe because he didn't want to pay the whole divorce thing, child support. Maybe all that stuff he wanted to avoid. But either way, I mean, if I pulled something like that, Candice would be like, "You better not come back." So maybe. Ryan will be legally responsible for the expenses associated with his missing report. Absolutely, as it should be. You know, it's not free. What we do isn't what any of these search teams do. It's not free. It costs money. And then some of these guys, they have lots of resources, and it costs a lot more money to search. So yeah, he needs to. He's in trouble. He's in trouble. Excuse me. So, let's see here. It's Horn Dog, my ex. See? Horror stories, man, I'm telling you. But, I know this is stupid, but at the same time, I'm kind of wondering, like, what were your experiences, growing up, getting older, life experiences? Did you come across a dog that you learned really fast? Was he a dog, and did you avoid that? Kind of curious the stories on that one, because I know, ladies, if you got burnt by a dog, then vent your frustration right now. I'd love to hear about it. So let me see here. So I found this story I wanted to talk about, and there is no news story that goes with it, but it's about Ohio. And do you remember last time I was talking to you guys, Ohio had a big problem with they wasn't entering the missing persons cases into NamUs, right? So imagine how you would feel if someone you loved suddenly vanished without a trace, right? You'd call the police, you'd talk to their friends and colleagues, and you would scour the places they were last seen. Makes sense. But if you think an overworked police department will drop everything to search, you unfortunately are in for a harsh reality. In many cases, you will need to become an advocate, even the detective, to find answers. And this heartbreaking truth was laid bare in the Columbus Dispatch's Vanished investigation, which uncovers staggering statistics about missing people in Ohio, right? Now, I talked about the numbers before, but this is pretty crazy. We'll go over this again here. At least 689 Ohioans, including 366 children, have been missing for more than a year. And on any given day, roughly 1,000 Ohioans are reported missing. Police often tout high success rates for solving missing person cases, but too many of these stories end in tragedy, leaving families without closure and grappling with unimaginable pain, right? The numbers alone, they raise tough questions. How is it possible for 366 children to have been missing for more than a year, right? What happened to them? Why aren't the authorities or society at large sounding the alarm louder, right? Some vanish into the shadows of human trafficking. It's sad, but it is a reality. Others fall victim to violence or mental health crisis. Law enforcement isn't 100% to blame for every disappearance, but the investigation reveals gaps. Areas are more could and should be done to save lives, right? Especially when it comes to children. For example, delayed response. Some families report resistance or delays when trying to file a missing persons report. Every moment counts in these cases. And hesitation can mean the difference between finding a loved one alive or not. And arbitrary age limits. In Columbus, police only classify children under the age 10 as high risk when they go missing. From the age 12, just last year. Now, compare that to other major Ohio cities, which set the high risk age at 13 or 14. And so another example would be data failures. Half of Ohio's long-term missing persons cases aren't entered into the federally mandated NamUs database. Remember I told you about that? This system has solved more than 46,000 cases nationwide. Why aren't all cases included? That doesn't make any sense. Here is another troubling fact. 58% of missing children in Ohio since 2010 were labeled as runaways. So over half of all the missing children in Ohio since 2010, runaways. That's a lot. The term is used so often that it's easy to dismiss, but runaway doesn't always mean rebellion. For someone, it's an escape from abuse or neglect. Take 13-year-old Melanie Elkins from Akron, Ohio, right? She ran away several times before she was found dead in an alley. Cases like hers demand deeper investigation, not quick labels. Even the Amber Alert system, meant to protect kids, has its flaws. Only 134 Amber Alerts were issued in Ohio over 13 years, despite thousands of missing children. And then there's the uncomfortable truth about race. While black people make up just 12.5% of Ohio's population, they account for 43% of all missing persons cases. This disparity is hard to ignore, especially when stories like Sequoia Cooper's highlights how some cases are handled. Sequoia, a black transgender woman, went missing in 2021. Her family says police delayed issuing updates even after finding her car and signs of foul play. And these are not just numbers or policies, these are lives. And let's pause for a minute and think about that. I know that those words that I just said, a black transgender woman, right? We all instantly got that feeling like, whoa, because like that's a hot topic for it's over here, but you hear about it a lot, right? And it creates all kinds of drama, all kinds of discussion, all kinds of people hating it, loving it, all that stuff, right? But if that wasn't in the sentence, Sequoia, a missing woman, missing since 2021, would she have been taken any more serious? But Sequoia, a black woman, went missing. Is that a thing? Is that a problem? Sequoia, a black transgender woman. That immediately makes me think it's a stigma, and it's very conflicting, because on one hand you have beliefs, you're like, I don't believe in that, I do believe in that, you can do what you want with your body, whatever, stay away from me, all these feelings go through your head. But on the other hand, human being needs help, missing, where'd she go, It's that right there is a situation, right? So let's take a moment and reflect on one story from the Dispatch's reporting. Amina Alhaj Omar, right? Amina struggled with mental health challenges and was missing for weeks before her body was found. A gas station clerk saw her wandering with a knife, but never called the police. That one call right there could have saved her life. But for some reason, he's just like, none of my business. And sadly, she's not with us no more. So the evidence is clear. We obviously can do better. Police need more training. Ohio requires just 14 hours on missing persons and human trafficking out of 740 total training hours. I don't think that's enough. Leaders need to review and update these policies that minimize the urgency of these cases. Every missing person case, no matter their race, their gender, age, needs to be treated as if that person matters. Because they do matter at the end of the day. The Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost put it perfectly. Everybody counts. Everybody matters. It's a tragedy when we fail that ideal. This is a call to action, not just for police and lawmakers, for all of us. If we see something, we must say something. Together, we can save more lives. Together, we can bring families the closure they deserve. It's time to make that happen. I think it's said very well, don't you think? What do you guys think? I mean, honestly, that's a big number too. What you're hearing, like over half they label as runaways. Are they really runaways? I don't know. I highly doubt it. Let me see what kind of questions we got in here. Sue says, I just heard that Oklahoma doesn't put missing people cases into NamUs. I wonder if there are other states that do the same thing. I have noticed that there are, like, I'll come across missing person flyers and cases all over the internet all the time. Obviously, my Facebook is flooded with it because that's all I really look at. Sometimes I'll come across a missing person case and it literally says at the bottom, and this is a very common thing I've noticed out of Mississippi, that this is not on NamUs. I mean, it's almost like they want people to know we did not put this on NamUs for whatever reason. So it might be a certain, like you said, Sue, it might be a state by state thing, which I find stupid because it says national, NamUs, National Missing Person Database. So that's weird, but I wonder why they wouldn't. That's a good thing to do some research on. I don't know why they wouldn't want. I would want it on every Facebook page, every group, NamUs, Charlie Project, Web Sleuths. I would want my missing loved ones my face plastered everywhere on everything. The more exposure, the better, right? We got these YouTubers, we got these influencers talking about missing people now. So many missing Facebook groups. Why not NamUs? That's the first place people go, So that should be number one, right? Charlie Project, close to. Just saying. Just because you can get more information off of NamUs. It's like a database. Charlie Project is like it's a database with less features. You know what I mean? Don't hate though. Don't hate me if you. I got hate one time for saying something bad about Charlie Project. Apparently, the hater knew the person who runs Charlie Project, and I was like, I wasn't talking shit. I was just being a realist. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a bad thing, not a good thing. I don't know. Kind of weird. But is there anything on the Summer Wells case? Nothing. It's still cold as can be. People are still looking daily. They're still talking about her daily. But towards finding any answers, any updates, no, there's nothing. Damn, I was really hoping you guys couldn't hear those dogs, dude. Yeah, every night they do this. I think there's a possum that comes out. Remember I told you guys this? A possum rides a deer running by the dogs, flipping them off. It's like, that's why I've envisioned these possums and raccoons come out and they're like, you can't do nothing. You're behind the fence. What's up? Just being mean. And beagles can't handle it. As you can tell. So hopefully they're not too dang distracting. Do your kids not bring the dogs in when they're going crazy like that? Well, sometimes not. They need to bark it out. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm sure they're watching though. So wait, it got quiet. I think Candice just saw it. They let him in. 2016, 800,000 children missing in the U.S. Yep, I use my phone all the time, and I never get ads. I missed that storyline. But runaways need help too. They should be looked for and get the help they need. I agree. When a child runs away, now granted, I don't have any experience in this. I don't have a dog in the hunt, so to speak, yet. Hopefully never. But what my guessing is on raising children, and now I have a 13-year-old who is incredibly emotional. If he ever ran away, right? I know it wouldn't be. It would have to be just some kind of like personal thing going on. And she probably would need somebody just to talk to, right? But some children out there are being abused, and they run away because they don't want to get beat on no more, or worse, and then they run away, and then how do they survive? They hit the streets, and then they almost immediately, it's you got to do what you got to do to eat. It's a horrible situation, but yeah, they didn't run away because like a life on the street is a life for me. I would think runaways run away because something is bad in their life and they need help, right? So you're absolutely right. Just because they're classified as a runaway does not mean that they don't search for them, right? At the end of the day, they're kids, right? They could be teenagers, but still they're kids. How old are we? I'm 45, If a 15, 16, 17-year-old runs away, that's a kid who really doesn't, they're not ready. They're not freaking ready for the streets, right? So, yeah, definitely need to be searched for. The reasons I ran away was to escape bad situations, especially school holidays. Well, I'm glad you're okay. You know what? Like I said, it's everybody's got shit going on. You know what I mean? It would be so scary for a child to run away. These missing people cases need to be investigated faster and with more publicity. The public has a lot of caring people. Absolutely. What's really scary is there's a lot of people out there that are dangerous. So that's what freaks me out every time I hear about children going missing. Yeah, so let's see here. Moving on, there was another story I wanted to share with you guys. And this is a story a viewer sent me. And I didn't want to put her on the back burner for too long. So I talked to her for a while, and she sent me some information about her, I think this was like, it's just, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna cluster it up. I'm gonna share with you the story that she shared with me, and then you guys tell me what you think, because essentially this is a pretty cool story. His name is Fred Page, right? So his full name, actually, and there's a lot of mystery around this gentleman. His name is Frederick William Arthur Page, a man whose life spanning 2 continents, 2 world wars, and whose disappearance left a family searching for answers even decades later. Frederick, and he was born February 4th, 1897, in Clacton-on-Sea, Essex, England. And he was the 4th of 9 children. Now, in 1906, his family sought new opportunities, immigrating to Canada, where they settled in Hamilton, Ontario. And at just 18, Frederick enlisted in the Canadian military in November of 1915, preparing to serve during World War I. His attestation papers tell us he stood 5'6.5 inches tall, that half is important to us men, with a dark complexion and piercing blue eyes, a young man ready to serve his adopted country. After the war, Frederick returned to Canada, building a life in Toronto, where he married Nellie Harfield on June 16, 1928. The couple had 2 sons, Donald, born in 1929, and Douglas, born in 1931. The Pages seem to have an ordinary family life, but for some reasons unknown, Frederick left one day and he never returned. Now, here's why the mystery deepens. Frederick's eldest son, Don, recounted that his father may have been headed to visit Douglas, who was living in California, but it's unclear if Frederick ever made it. Don later in life hired a private investigator, but no answers were ever emerged. Now, there is a rumor that Frederick passed away between 1958 and 1960. It's believed he may have been in a hospital, possibly seen by his son Douglas before his death. However, there are no records to substantiate this. Don, who had been working in London, England during that period, returned to Canada in 1959 only to find the trail cold. Don Page, a respected doctor who passed away in 2020, carried the unanswered questions of his father's fate for his entire life. Now, his brother Douglas tragically died in a car accident in 1994, and Douglas's family may hold clues, but the full story remains elusive. This is a tale of war, family, and unresolved mysteries, a reminder of the countless untold stories lost to time. Frederick William Arthur Page's life stands as an echo of an era, and perhaps with continued research, some answers may yet come to light. That is Fred Page's story, and like I said, this was a viewer who sent me this information, and I wanted to put the word out. If this is such an old case, it would be an amazing achievement to find this family some closure. Obviously, if he is ever found, it will be an amazing story to tell. So I pray for the family that they do ever get answers. I mean, this is one of the stories, it turns legend, right? Because this could be taught in the history books. It's not just another missing person. Okay, everybody's story needs to be told. But these old ones, it's really hard to tell these stories because lack of information. So I'm really glad she shared this with me. And if you guys ever have any stories you would like me to share out there for the world to hear, and by all means, send it to me. I have no problem with it. The more information, the better, because obviously, if I don't have any information, I can't really talk about nothing, right? So by all means, send it my way. I love it. I would love to read your missing person story, get the word out there, let everybody know that there is still one more missing person that we might possibly be able to find some answers to. With that being said, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Make sure you guys go and check out Battle Box's sale. The link is in the description down below. By all means, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so make sure you guys go check out rapidcc.org and consider donating. That keeps us on the road and keeps us searching. And consider becoming part of the locals page. Become part of the Nug Nation for some exclusive behind-the-scenes stuff and background pictures and stories and whatnot. It's pretty fun, and ultimately, your support keeps these live streams free. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and let's do it again. I don't know. Let's do Wednesday, right? But email me if you got anything. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you then.